What I've done is I've created a very simple AI compliance framework for you to follow, and obviously you can make it into what you need for your organization. But I wanted it to be very simple and easy to understand versus 40 pages of documents that no one's going to look at. So let's break down the AI compliance framework that I've developed. The AI compliance framework has three components to it. The first part is why. Next comes how. And lastly, the what. Okay? So when you are having meetings with the stakeholders inside your organization and trying to describe what your AI compliance framework is going to look like, I want you to start with just these three questions. So the first one is why. Well, we want to protect trust and our reputation. Okay? Right? As an organization, I want to make sure that we are using AI responsibly and make sure that our customers and our employees trust us in how we are using that information. Next up is, again, under the why, safeguarding people and their data. I don't see much discussion going on about safeguards that are in place for AI when it comes to your personal information. For example, OpenAI, which everyone knows about ChatGPT, and we use it probably every day now, but no one really is discussing what is happening to all of our personal information, who is holding our personal information, what retention is around our personal information. As an organization, you should be asking and answering these questions before you deploy AI inside of your organization and enterprise. Next up is that we want to promote ethical and responsible use of AI. So again, we want to make sure that when employees are using AI, that they're not running questions like how much does the CEO make, or who has the disciplinary actions against them. Things like that. These are safeguards that you want to be able to put in place so that you don't wind up creating a mess inside the organization. It's okay to have transparency and be able to access data sources across the organization, but you still have to make sure that there is some kind of safeguards and monitoring to make sure that the right information is being disclosed. Next up is the how. How are we going to go about doing this? So the easiest and probably the most high level part to think about this is creating a risk-based approach. Second, we want to look at our regulatory compliance and ethics frameworks. Now, NIST is working on a framework, the EU is working on frameworks. Those are good references to go by, but you also want to start building your own as well that would either overlap regulatory frameworks or kind of work in conjunction with one another. Okay, so we have, again, regulatory frameworks. And next up is governance and oversight, right? Who inside the organization is responsible for AI? As I talk to many organizations, the answer is normally nobody, right? The vendor has sold us an AI product, we use it and we trust it, and that's the end of story. We maybe have some scopes that we put in, some data sources, but that's really the end of it. There really should be an approach where everyone, especially at the stakeholder level, should be responsible. And more importantly, there either should be your compliance department responsible for AI, or someone that is going to be able to monitor and review queries that are going through AI, questions that are being asked, data sources that are being asked for to be connected to AI. This should be done by someone and not leave it up to the vendor to make sure that there are safeguards in place. Which leads me to the third one, continuous monitoring and education. Your employees may already understand how AI works, but you should not assume. You should have, as an organization, some type of training to teach your employees how to use AI responsibly. Additionally, there should be constant monitoring so that you understand what and how AI is being used for by employees. And then by that, you can basically tweak the scopes that AI is using or the data sources it's reaching out to. But once again, you don't just want to put AI out there and just assume the best. That's most definitely the quickest way to have lots of risk on your hands. Lastly is the what, right? So the what is going to be part of the technical measures, also compliance process, incident response, like what do you do if there is a breach or if there's a spill, you find out that that someone is able to access HR information through AI. What do you do? Right? So we want an incident response and also recovery. Right? So we want to, obviously, if there is a breach or if there is a spill, to be able to address it and remediate it immediately. And after that, now we want to recover. Okay. Last part is the tooling in the automation, right? So tooling and automation. Again, connecting systems to AI. How exactly is AI going to connect to your current environment? What data sources is it going to use? So determining that, also how much automation is involved with AI. These are questions you want to ask at the very, very highest level when creating an AI compliance framework. So go over again, we have the why, we have the how, and then we have the what. I would start there and build upon from this into creating a living, breathing AI compliance framework. Don't think of trying to put every single thing into your framework. You want to start with the basics and then build from there. Because I've seen over the years, the more that you put into your framework, the less anyone's going to read it. So start very simple and ask the questions that addresses the needs for the organization when you're working with AI. I assure you, by following just these small steps, your AI deployment would be much smoother and less risk to your organization. And at the end of the day, that's what you want, is less risk and less exposure when it comes to working with AI. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions whatsoever, you can reach me below. Thank you and have a great day.